Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So this morning I had a conversation with a former teammate of mine that had some questions, concerns around perception. In some of the previous videos we talked about perception and how they may have been perceived, but basically the gist of the questioning and the gist of the conversation and the consultation was 5 ways to get more respect at work. So this teammate even though they do work very hard, they're courteous, they're on time, they do all the basic things you expect a teammate to do to be successful. They feel like there's a void there. There's a lack of respect um, in the position that they're seeing, and they felt like I didn't have any concerns in that area, that I felt and I seemed well respected. So they asked me for guidance on these things, and these are the points that I pointed out today. We'll come back with five ways to get more respect at work. So number one, when you go into a new work environment, you're very excited in the beginning. You're ready to get started. You're ready to get going, and you want to put your best self forward. And a lot of times we overshare and we do too much in the beginning instead of allowing time to take place, watch and observe more than we participate, to learn who the other players are and what's going on there. As we know, all interpersonal communication and relationships have to it different pieces that are carried on by other folks. So maintaining an open mind and an active imagination will serve you very well when you're looking to get more respect at work. For example, if somebody comes to you and tells you what they do for fun, and your automatic response is negative or questioning in a what may not be seen in a positive light, as opposed to just imagining what they're talking about and ask for more detail. Wow, what got you into that? Why did you just start to do that? Or what made you think that that would be a good time? And do you enjoy what you do? Those type questions that are objective and open-minded, open-ended, would allow that teammate or that other person to talk a little bit longer and maybe build a better start to a future relationship when you're at work or with a new team. Number two is to be success conscious, meaning you want to be a positive person. You want to show positive effort. You want to be right in there working and doing what you can. Don't be someone that's standing on the side, complaining or basically judging other folks for their attempt at having a great impact. Basically, everyone goes about the same body of work a little bit differently. And that's why you have policies and procedures in place. Policies and procedures are to hopefully adhere everyone to a similar way and methodology of working, but everyone has their own assertion of what that suggests and their own thoughts around how that should be done. So be success conscious, talk positively. Even though you're a teammate, and some may be your superiors, some may be your coworkers, some may be your subordinates, you should be able to be success conscious, and that will have an impact on all of those folks that you're working with day to day. And if you're negative, you're going to attract negative people. Meaning, if you go to the break room to have your lunch and you're positive and you're saying what you enjoyed about that morning, which is a great suggestion to do, pick one or two things that you enjoyed about the first half of the day. Maybe think about something that you learned from it, and then share that at lunch. You're off at lunch, you're clocked out, but if you're still in a break room, you want that to be a positive conversation when people think, wow, they're all company. That's what you want to be at your job. You want to be all company. You want people to see that you're there to make an impact. It's positive for your fellow teammates, also positive for your customers or the people that you serve. So be success conscious. Number three is desire for success with unmatched and unmasked determination. I'll say that instead of just unmatched determination. Let people know that you're trying to train and you're trying to get better. Let that be an open concept that people talk about and that share. Let them know that that's something you want to do, that you want to be better at your job than you are, and you're doing all you can to achieve at the level you're at, and you're questioning and asking what it would take to get to the next level, and you're checking those boxes to make sure you're doing that thing and make sure that you're doing the right thing to continue your forward progress. The other piece I'd say around that desire for success and unmatched determination, you want to have scheduled conversations, scheduled weekly meetings with your upline, with the people that supervise you, that you talk to and you're responsible to. You want them to be clear on what you're doing. You also want to ask for their expectations and know where you're falling short so you can address those in a timed manner that's specific to, I guess, a work process or an improvement process that they would consider to be in your best interest. So number 4 is a keen ability to influence others. So what you need to do is you need to determine how the best way to influence others may be for you. And I probably have mentioned it a couple times before this point. Just having a positive mindset, talking positively with gratitude when you're on break or when you're not on the clock, as well as when you're on the clock, about what you learned that morning, what went well today, what's going really well today, what you appreciate today. Those abilities, after a while, will influence the people around you to know that they can only talk about positive stuff around you. When you're talking about positive things, you attract more positive responses, you attract more joy. And with people that circle around that, those will be the successful people. The people that are complaining all the time, that sit off to the side and naysay or critique what other people are doing, they're not going to have the same motivation to get back to work. They're not going to be recharged after breaks. They're not going to be recharged after lunch because they didn't take that positive affirmation, that positive context from the day to where you feel like you're actually having a really good impact. So that's a good way to influence others, is to keep that keen ability and that focus on being positive and making sure you're saying the things that you want to be known for. You're saying the things that you want people to know. Hey, that person thinks this because they said that. So just be deliberate and keep that in focus. And know that you can influence others, and make sure that you're aware of how your influence is going to be seen. And then the 5th one kind of ties into everything else I've said. Remain optimistic in the face of adversity. All day, every day, life and work. We talked about in previous videos how the Stoics and the Bible basically says that life is suffering, and you have to learn from that. Everyone that's ever gone through anything will tell you that either you won or you learn. You didn't lose. There's no such thing as loss. There's learning, there's winning, and there's education, right? So if you're remaining optimistic in the face of adversity, it shows that you are mature from an emotional intelligence standpoint, but also that's what arises in life. If you do anything long enough, adversity is going to come. If you're in operations specifically, I used to say all the time, if something's not going wrong, then you're not looking hard enough, right? There's something going wrong every single day, and you just have to keep constant eyes on. I say inspect what you expect. You have to keep constant eyes on to figure out what that is so you can impact it and face that adversity and be optimistic. What adversity teaches us is very simple. It teaches us what works, it teaches us what doesn't work, and it teaches us who made it easier going through that and who did not. Or worse yet, who made it harder, right? So as an employer and as an employee and as a coworker, you need to be thinking about those thought processes. Going back to that, observation and that perception is reality. If you keep that positive mindset and you remain optimistic, that makes you powerful. That makes you very useful, and it makes you a very key member of any team, no matter what size or what professional direction the team goes in. So basically, you're talking about physicians down to presidents, down to sales folks, to you name it. If you do these 5 things, you will get more respect at work. Number 1 was maintain an open mind and an active imagination. Number 2 is be success conscious. Number 3 is desire for success with unmatched determination. Number 4 is keen ability to influence others and be aware of that and how you influence others. And number 5 is remain optimistic in the face of adversity. I hope this is useful to you. If you do have a team that reports to you, maybe review this video with them so they can understand these things and ask you questions about this, because this will keep a team congruent, keep them on the same level, and keep them interactive in a positive way. And if the more you talk about positivity and more you talk about these things around respect and belonging at work, the more your team is going to get along, the more your team is going to know the problems so they can focus on the problems and take the proper strides. If this was beneficial to you, or if it's useful to you, please share with those that may actually find some benefit in this. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow it this year and get over 1,000 by the end of the year. And please like the video if it did help you out. I appreciate the attention. Be good.